Dylan Massington, and this is my YouTube channel, True Dylan D Boy Massington. I have okay, let me get this off. I love to be wrapped up in a blanket, but that's not what this video is about. I want to just give a rundown of what this channel is and my history. I've been making videos since 2007. I started on YouTube with a different account. I've had tons of accounts over the years doing different things, but I started in 2007 when I was in seventh grade, just making silly, goofy videos. Um, and eventually got really into filmmaking and editing and was doing that even in college. There's like five realms in my head, 4 or 5 realms. Back then, it was more just dreams and reality and just trying to make those elements merge into one. Nowadays, it's AI, social media, uh, dreams, reality, and death. And I try to take aspects from all those different dimensions and mix them together and put out not just videos, but just art, work, whatever you want to call it, um, content, expression, experience, I guess is the best word. I like to create an experience. And the way I do that is through all different means. Like, I love to test the boundaries of things. And this is not just with making content, but just in general. I call myself like the Tom Sawyer, boy who cried wolf of experience and creation, 'cause camera, audio equipment, editing programs, and I took it a little more serious and started making uh, more professional things. Did some work for the school, produced some short films, stuff like that. And I had other YouTube channels to do this. And then at the time too, I was also doing tons of stunts and like flips, tricks, parkour, stuff like that. And then also I was doing jiu-jitsu, which I have been doing since 2000, and that was like my full-time thing. And as I get deeper in the story, you'll see what happened with that. But yeah, I had channels for that. So I had like 6, 7 channels going on, doing all sorts of social media. Instagram, I was really big on for a while. I hit 10K. I was able to sell, actually, and get on TV. I was on Nickelodeon. I was on Fail Army. I was on People Are Amazing. I was on a couple other things, but I would make these videos and sell them. But I was also starring in them, so it was a little difficult with the filming and editing. But yeah, I did that for a while. I made some money selling the videos, but you don't really get the following when you sell them to companies. So again, I started to put in all my time starting in like 2014 to jiu-jitsu and my content for jiu-jitsu. So I kind of pulled back on the, like I said, the professional equipment. I started using my iPhone mostly at that time because I found out that the more you put in, sometimes it doesn't translate over to what you're expecting output wise. So, like, I would put in, I don't know, a week's worth of work and the video would get like nothing, no views, no likes. And then I would do a 30-second video on my phone and it'd blow up. I was able to have a bunch of videos. I had one video that had 67 million views of me doing a trick. Uh, I had a videos of um, some other wipeouts and stuff like that that was able to have hundreds of thousands of views on different channels. Some not mine, some mine. 2024, I had I had health issues going on for around 2.5 years, chronic pain, had some psychosis stuff going on, and it turns out that I had appendicitis for 2.5 years, and it had destroyed my body. They don't know how it didn't kill me as I was training, fighting with it. Um, yeah, so it ended up rupturing, perforating, and led to abscess infection and destroyed my intestines and smashed them all together. And they were just like all ripped apart and everything. Um, from there, I ended up getting surgery to remove half my colon, some of my small intestine, the abscess, the phlegma, obviously my appendix. Uh, it's a hemicolectomy. It was a big abdominal surgery, 9.5 hours. I was unconscious, or eight and a half. Yeah, so then that changed my life forever. And I was in the hospital. I racked up a month over a couple times, but hundreds of visits this year. And a lot of the time, I'm stuck in the hospital and can't really do much. And it had tubes, catheters, couldn't move. So it's not like I could have equipment there. But I started getting back into the filmmaking and the ideas, being close to death. I really wanted to start creating and experience as much as I could. So from there, I started really getting back into the editing and the apps and programs and everything, and I stumbled upon AI too, and went down this whole rabbit hole of AI creation, which I loved, and it's amazing because it can create things that you couldn't otherwise, and see things that you could never imagine. So then from there, I was just using some of my old accounts, and I wanted to make a fresh one to just see how it would go, and then I posted an AI video, and it got 8 million views, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, um, that's just an AI, maybe this is something I could look into." So then I'm now investing in just doing this and making content no matter what. The thing that I'd be using to, go through this is the creation tool. Nothing beyond this is needed. Whatever you give me, I will make something out of what's in here. Um, so this is my main tool. Editing wise, yeah, I do use things like CapCut. I use Instagram edits. I use the YouTube snippet app, obviously. Premiere Pro. I have a couple other things on the computer. I'll do the editing, clipping on there. I do use AI to generate things to see, like imagery that would otherwise be impossible or that would take forever to save time, money, effort, and just these chaotic a lot of times goofy, silly scenarios that really makes you think. I would explain my content as like a mix of Tom Sawyer and the boy who cried wolf, mixed with a little bit of Bobby Hill from King of the Hill. That's how I would explain my thought process and humor and the ideas that I like to try and express. And I've gone through, I would say, 7,000 apps since I started making videos back in 2007. I have them all listed and cataloged. And over the years, I've switched between a bunch. Some of my favorites, CapCut's been great. Premiere Pro is good. I used to use iMovie. I used to use some studio level grading editors, which they're all out of date now, but I did have a bunch of installs on my computer. Living life now that I'm beyond, you know, what happened with me was almost dying. But yeah, that's just a little insight on how I do things and what my goals. My goals, I wanted to get monetized. That's my first goal, get into the partner program, and then hopefully hit 100K, and also just see how many videos I can just get that reach a lot and express myself so I don't have to write in this journal of ebook and keep it in, getting my ideas out and living each day to the fullest just in case, something happens with